Midnight News coming to you live from Algiers. I'm your host, Mariam Zien, and here are your top stories for tonight. On International Labour Day, Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune affirms the encouraging signs of the Algerian economy, reiterating his pledge to avoid taking on debt. He also announced suspension and retirement grant hikes, underlining the importance of instituting guidelines for dialogue and consultation to ensure sound and principled decision-making. Next, Blinken reaffirms the U.S.'s resolve to achieve a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, and Turkey declares its participation in South Africa's legal action against the occupation at the International Court of Justice. And students rally as pro-Palestinian encampments attacked across U.S. universities, sparking a night of violence and 300 arrests. Algeria's President Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune supervised the International Labour Day, commemorating the event on Wednesday at Algiers People's House. President Tebboune paid respects by placing a wreath at the memorial, honoring the martyrs Aysat Idir and Abdelhaq bin Hamouda, and offered prayers for the souls of workers and trade unionists who sacrificed their lives for the liberation revolution and national duty. Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune renewed his commitment not to resort to foreign debt in loyalty to the martyrs of Algeria. In his speech on the occasion of the celebration of International Workers' Day held in the capital, Algiers, President Tebboune stressed that the indicators of national economy are moving in a positive direction, far from the signs that the world is witnessing, recalling the ailing economy that Algeria was experiencing before 2019, stressing that the blessed Hirak saved Algeria from bad practices.
لازم تصيب لها مناصب ما نمشيش المديونيه انا قطعتها قطعا ما نمشيش فيه ناس مختصين في الاقتصاد لا المديونيه ماشي عيب لا المديونيه لما دير مشروع تستدان مليار دولار ويجيب لك 5 ملايير دولار فوق راسنا ولكن مديونيه تعهد على هذه الامور هذه باش الدراهم تتكل في الخارج لا فيش مديونيه كلكم تعلمون ما هي الوضعية المزرية التي وجدنا عليها البلاد في 2019 آخر سنة من عشرية مافيوية من اقتصاد منهار أجور تكاد لا تدفع للعمال بسبب خطابات البهتان التي تحججت وادعت عجز الخزينة العمومية عن صب الرواتب وباحتياط صرف متآكل وصل إلى أدنى مستويات وفساد عام نخر كل القطاعات. بالاقتصاد الوطني اليوم أقولها بكل فخر وشرف أن الإنتاج الوطني تاعنا بدا يبرز في الداخل وفي الخارج. في ظرف 4 سنين ورغم الكوفيد في 2018-2019 كنا نستورد ما يقارب 750 مليون دولار تاع كيتشوب مايونيز والتفيش مثل هذا. لما درت النيف الجزائريين اليوم عندنا من أحسن إنتاج تاع هذه المواد.
The Algerian president revealed that 100 foreign investment applications have been registered in Algeria since the implementations of reforms related to investment law. Let's take a listen.
اليوم بدون ما نطلب عندنا ما يقارب 100 طلب أجنبي للاستثمار في الجزائر. عندنا ما يقارب 7000 مستثمر جزائري داخل البلاد وفيهم بعض مغتربين. 7000 أنا ماشيين نحو بالأقل 200,000 منصب شغل بالأقل، نخلقها، زيد الضرائب نتاعها اللي تسمح لي باش نلبي الحاجيات الاجتماعية، زيد الحركية، زيد كذا زيد. هذا هو الاقتصاد اللي نبنيو فيه، اقتصاد نتاع أرقام، ماهوش اقتصاد تاع شعارات.
In the same context, the Algerian president announced increases in pensions and grants for retirees ranging between 10 and 15%, revealing their adoption during the next Council of Ministers meeting. Let's take a listen.
مجلس الوزراء يوم الأحد إن شاء الله، ربما يتأجل بيومين، أيوة الأحد يكون 2 ولا 3 باش نقرر الزيادة في الريترات. الزيادة في الريترات تكون ما بين 10 15% إن شاء الله. هذه أنتم ما طلبتوهاش، ولكن فيه ناس راهم يفكروا فيكم، لأن كما ما قلت أنا منطلق نتاعي أن أنتم الأساس تاع الجمهورية.
Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune emphasized the importance of setting up guidelines for dialogue and consultation to make informed and consistent decisions. He expressed his backing for the new proposed mechanism regarding the tripartite meeting involving the government and unions. On this occasion, he highlighted the necessity for decisions to meet expectations. Let's have a listen.
احنا كل ما نجعل أمورنا شورى بيننا ما نغلطوش، نتشاور مع الاتحاد العام للعمال الجزائريين، نتشاور مع الوطنيين الأحرار، نتشاور مع من سبقونا في الوطنية وفي الكفاح، وما نغلطش. بهذه الكيفية القرار تاعنا يكون صايب، ما يكونش قرار ظرفي ولا قرار انتهازي ولا قرار للبقاء فوق الكرسي. أنا شاط الرأي تاع السي عمار لما يتكلم على آليات جديدة منها الثلاثية، شريطة أن لا تكون مثل الثلاثيات اللي فاتوا.
The head of state stressed in his speech that celebrating International Workers' Day is an opportunity to remember the long history of the struggle led by honorable men who put the interests of the nation above anything else.
إذن يسرني أن أقف اليوم ونحن نحتفي بعيد العمل والعمال تحت سقف هذا الصرح المهيب، ما يحمله من رمزية. هذا السقف هذا يعني من ركائز التاريخ الجزائري، التاريخ المعاصر الجزائري، من رمزية وكفاح وتاريخ طويل من النضال قاده رجال شرفاء منذ الحركة الوطنية، قدموا مصلحة الوطن فوق كل اعتبار، رجال من طينة ابن الثورة المظفرة الشهيد عيسات يدير، ومستذكرين المعارك التي خاضها العمال بعد الاستقلال، ومن بين انتصاراتهم الباهرة تأميم المناجم والمحروقات وانتصارات اجتماعية أخرى. وإذ نقف اليوم معا نستشعر بكل فخر واعتزاز الروح الوطنية العالية والصمود والشهامة التي تحلى بها شهيد الواجب الوطني ضد الهمجية الإرهابية الرجل الفذ عبد الحق بن حمودة.
Algeria celebrated on Wednesday International Workers' Day with a special emphasis on recent labor achievements, as well as future challenges and aspirations, most notably the improvement of working conditions and the progress in economic performance. Marwa Blaiwar.
Each year on May 1st, International Workers' Day is commemorated worldwide, including in Algeria, where this day has a great significance as a day to honor and recognize the contributions of workers. In Algeria, this day serves as a moment to reflect on progress made under the leadership of President Abdelmajid Tebboune, particularly in enhancing the welfare of the working class. The country's reform agenda has been focusing on boosting the national economy and broadening its scope. President Tebboune has emphasized the transition of contract workers to permanent positions and the conversion of social inclusion activities agency contracts into indefinite-term ones. This initiative has resulted in the employment of over 500,000 individuals, showcasing the government's commitment to professional integration and stability of the workforce. The Algerian president also endorsed a series of measures aimed at strengthening the financial stability of citizens. These initiatives encompass elevating the guaranteed minimum basic wage, scraping taxes for individuals with low incomes, and boosting both wages and retirement pensions. Such steps underline the commitment to fortify the purchasing power of citizens. Initially, wage hikes have amounted to a 47% increase, with a phased approach planned to achieve full implementation by 2026 to 2027. Regarding beneficiaries of the retirement system, including both employees and non-employees, President Tebboune has consented to reassess their pensions and allowances for 2024. This adjustment aligns with the evolving living standards aiming to uphold the dignity of citizens and underscores the significance of labor as a cornerstone for fostering a robust and resilient economy. To achieve this objective, the country's presidency has devised strategies, including the establishment of a holiday for employees to set up an institution and finalize investment projects. Additionally, a new mechanism has been introduced, enabling citizens working abroad to voluntarily enroll in the national social security system, granting them access to retirement benefits. These efforts to enhance the social conditions of workers are coupled with a desire to foster internal dialogue and reshape union activities through significant reforms impacting the legislation governing union rights. These reforms acknowledge mechanisms aiming at ensuring the autonomy and fairness of unions. Hence, there are clear signs of workers engaging in efforts to bolster the social dimension within Algeria's domestic and global contexts. The overarching goal is to maintain the social identity of the Algerian state by prioritizing the well-being of its citizens amidst their everyday realities and the wider economic setting. This conviction underscores that the majority of procedures and measures implemented in Algeria's journey of change have led to positive outcomes. It reinforces the president's appeal to the population to come together for the sake of growth and progress.
We are still broadcasting live on air. Stay tuned for more updates. Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza said Wednesday that the death toll from the ongoing war on the Strip since October 7 has risen to 34,568 martyrs. The ministry stated that the occupation carried out 4 massacres against families in the Gaza Strip, resulting in 33 fatalities and 57 injuries being brought to hospitals in the past 24 hours. Chief of the Mine Action Program in the state of Palestine, Mangu Birch, said Wednesday that the Gaza Strip is filled with more war debris and rubble than Ukraine. In mid-April, the United Nations Mine Action Service estimated the amount of debris in Gaza at 37 million tons, or 300 kilograms per square meter.
The situation in Gaza is unprecedented for the Gaza context. Gaza has more rubble than Ukraine, and to put that in perspective, the Ukrainian front line is 600 miles long and Gaza is 25 miles long.
Salama Maroof, head of the government media office in the Gaza Strip, highlighted the insufficient aid reaching the region, stating an average of 163 aid trucks enter the territory daily. This number falls far short of meeting the needs of Gaza residents, particularly those in the northern areas. Maroof noted a slight uptick in truck numbers during the latter half of April. However, overall, the total count remained largely unchanged due to intermittent closures of crossings throughout the month, citing various reasons for the disruptions. On Wednesday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken emphasized the commitment of the U.S. to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza by brokering a truce deal between the occupying forces and Hamas, coupled with the release of detainees. Blinken highlighted the urgency of reaching a ceasefire, stating that there is no time to delay in securing an agreement.
We also have to be focused on people in Gaza who are suffering in this crossfire Hamas is making. And so focused on getting them the assistance they need. The food, the medicine, the water, the shelter is also very much on our minds and in the work that we're doing. I look forward to discussing all of that with you and many more things as well. Thanks for seeing me again this morning.
Turkey has declared its intention to join South Africa in a genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Fidan revealed that Turkey would officially submit an intervention declaration before the ICJ, aligning itself with South Africa's legal proceedings against Israel.
Today we submitted the results of our consultations to our president, and according to the political decision which was taken, I want to mention it for the first time here. We decided to join the court case submitted by South Africa against Israel in the International Court of Justice. With this step, we expect the process in the International Court of Justice to proceed in a right way.
Palestinian government media office in Gaza announced on Wednesday that the unemployment rate in the Strip had risen to 75%, with poverty increasing to more than 90% as a result of the ongoing Zionist war since October 7, 2023. The government media office added that the occupation killed thousands of Palestinian workers in its war on the Gaza Strip, where about 2.3 million Palestinians live. The government media office held the occupation, the American administration, and the international community responsible for conditions that sector workers are experiencing on their International Day. Let's take a listen.
We hold the occupation forces, the American administration, and the international community accountable for the egregious and inhumane conditions faced by Gaza's workers on the designated day. We call upon the free world nations and international organizations to fulfill their responsibilities by putting an end to the genocidal war against the Palestinian people in Gaza. Furthermore, we urge immediate and direct support for Gaza's workforce, particularly those who have suffered loss of businesses and jobs as a result of the conflict.
Hamas issued a statement on International Workers' Day calling for global condemnation of the occupation's abuses against Palestinian workers in Gaza and the West Bank. The movement praised the resilience of Palestinian workers and their vital role in the ongoing struggle for freedom. Hamas also highlighted the alarming rise in crimes and violations by the Zionist occupation amid its relentless campaign of extermination against the Palestinian people in Gaza. A group of people attacked a pro-Palestinian protest camp at the University of California in Los Angeles on Wednesday, hours after New York City police arrested some 300 protesters. This comes as days of mountain tensions on some U.S. college campuses boiled over. Nabil Khazini has more details.
It was almost midnight when a large group of people attacked pro-Palestinian encampment across some US universities. The attacks sparked a wave of violence during a night which was too long and where police arrested some 300 people.
It's one of the craziest things in my life, I'll say that. I never seen this happen before. I never seen people get so heated at this moment, and it was really bad, I'll tell you that.
I was right inside the Amsterdam gates of Columbia University at the time when the NYPD was arresting pro-Palestine protesters who had lined up right outside the university trying to prevent the NYPD from coming in. Just being inside the gates, I got first-hand access to seeing how the police was sort of disbanding those protesters, moving them away by force.
In the next morning, another day started for the students who were still in their place. The wave is getting stronger in campuses. This might be the largest student movement so far of this 21st century. The wave is becoming a worldwide movement, from the US to the UK. Their voice is strong, and so is their message.
It's been almost 6 months now that the Palestinians have endured unimaginable violence, genocidal violence, war crime after war crime, hospitals being targeted, schools being targeted, universities being targeted, refugee camps being targeted. We are here to demand an arms embargo.
For every step taken on the streets, a call for an immediate and urgent ceasefire in Gaza, and on every mouth, a shout that every Palestinian has the right to live in a free and independent Palestine.
End apartheid!
In Morocco, the working class faces worsening social conditions and soaring prices, sparking increased anger as they observe their International Day. Government inaction is adding to tensions, prompting calls for stronger action against policies that threaten their rights. Hussein Berkan reports.
Moroccan trade union observed International Labor Day on May 1st, rallying for the rights of workers and their pursuit of dignity, democracy and social justice. Throughout the festivities, unions voiced grievances over a spectrum of social and economic issues, notably inflation, soaring prices, poverty, and employment. These concerns were echoed in demonstrations across the country, reflecting widespread discontent with government policies and systemic corruption. The Democratic Labor Organization underscored the worsening conditions facing the working class, citing a 13% employment rate and pervasive gender inequality in wages. They denounced government economic strategies which prioritize debt accumulation and private sector interests over public welfare. In Marrakesh, hundreds of workers and employees from diverse sectors took to the streets, demanding change. Similar scenes unfolded in cities nationwide as workers voiced their frustrations with the government's neglect of their rights and the broader socioeconomic challenges plaguing the nation. Despite the spirited displays of dissent, the Moroccan government response remains uncertain, leaving workers uncertain about the prospect for meaningful change. As demonstrations persist across the country, The plight of the Moroccan workers continues to draw attention to the urgent need for reform and accountability within the nation's leadership.
Entrusted by the Algerian President Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, the Algerian Foreign Minister Mr. Ahmed Attaf arrived on Wednesday evening in the Danish capital Copenhagen. According to a Foreign Ministry statement, Minister Attaf will participate in the 21st session of the regular meeting between African ministers and their counterparts from Northern European countries. The same statement added that Algeria is participating in this meeting after hosting the previous session, which resulted in important outcomes that will be followed up and built upon during the current edition. And that's a wrap for tonight's edition. See you tomorrow.